Informed consent. The informed consent that I found is from the Mariposa Center, which is located in Denver, Colorado, and it's for infant, child, and family enrichment. Now, their informed consent lists out each individual therapist that's there and their licenses, what they're trained in, what they specialize in. It also lists um, the regulations or the rules for somebody who is looking to become a counselor or therapist. It lists out like the requirements for licensing, the minimum hours, um, and then it also gives clients rights, the policies, and what to expect with when working with somebody at the Mariposa Center. The state of Colorado website, their rules and regulations. It's called the Licensed Professional Counselor Examiner's Rules and Regulations. It talks about, or it lists out everything that you need to do when you're looking to become licensed, and what the board requires. It also includes the what is required, like if an individual is not capable of fulfilling their role as a therapist. um, some stuff is confidential, some stuff is not. It just kind of depends on the situation. um, and then on the Mariposa Center, it does talk about how confidentiality files are stored in a safe place, just like with the state of Colorado. You're as a licensed therapist or counselor, you have to have your files stored in a safe place. The Mariposa Center gives you information on the um, fact if your therapist becomes disabled or not able to perform their duties, just like the Colorado website. It's very detailed. Um, it's about 8 pages long for the Mariposa Center for their informed consent. The state of Colorado one is about, which was just redone in December of 22. This is about 36 pages, and it gives out all the information about licenses, how to renew a license, how many hours you have to have. Um, there are different rules and regulations for obtaining your license, maintaining your license, renewing your license. And then also there is parts in here about sexual misconduct. There's also parts in here about what's going to be kept protected and what's not. And the ACA Code of Ethics in section A.2, which is the informed consent in the counseling relationship, it talks about how the clients have the freedom to choose whether they're going to remain in counseling. And then each section, A.2.B, A.2.C, A.2.D, A.2.E, those talk about the different types of information that's needed. And counselors have to completely explain to the clients all the services that are provided. They have to inform their clients about issues. Excuse me. And then, like their developmental and cultural sensitivity, counselors have to communicate the information in a way that that the client is going to understand it. So they need to be aware of that person's culture, as well as their developmental stage. If a person can't give consent, the ACA Code of Ethics A.2.D talks about how the counselors recognize the need to balance the ethical rights of clients. They also need to, when counseling minors or incapacitated adults, they need to the clients, they need to, it says assent of clients to services and include them in decision making as appropriate. Those individuals, they may not be able to give consent verbally. They may not be able to voluntary consent, but they do need to be included, as well as their legal guardians, such as family or um, such an agency or a case manager or something. There's also mandated clients, which is A.2.E. And this is talking about how the counselors have to request release from the clients in order to inform other professionals and to share any information. Actually, nope, I'm sorry, that was the wrong thing. They have to explain what type of information and with whom the information is being shared. So yeah, if you've been mandated for counseling, you have to explain who you're going to be sharing the information with. The client can refuse services, just like with the informed consent. It's up to the client if they want to stay involved. But yeah, that's the informed consent, and that's kind of a comparison of the ACA Code of Ethics, the informed consent for Mariposa Center in Denver, and then the Colorado rules and regulations for counseling.